He has taken no prisoners to fight every week.
We're reviewing the Dodge Avenger 500 with the team of Biff, Schrader, and Mikey, and we're going to get into another getting onto pit road issue here, this time involving a guy who had led the race. Have a look at Carl Edwards.
He doesn't quite make it.
Explain what he didn't make. I think we're going to freeze this. So
See that line right there? He's supposed to be on the other side of it.
Right where that line, the T is right there, that's the commitment line.
You have to cross over that line with 4 tires.
And be at pit road speed.
And the black mark indicated that he was trying to do that, but failed.
Then got a caution. So he didn't have to serve the penalty under green.
Which started at the end of the longest line. It was, yeah.
But
came from 25th. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It still took him all day to fight. That's how tough it is at Darlington or anywhere nowadays with the car so competitive. He went to the back of the line. It took him like 100 laps to finally get back to where he was. So when you make a little mistake, it's hard to overcome.
Flip side of that is he came from 25th to 5th. This is the biggest, fastest track on which we run the new car. Any differences in terms of its ability to run in traffic or pass people, or is that a dead issue, a moot point?
I think it's a dead issue.
Yeah, I mean, Darlington's hard to start with, but, you know, with this car slipping and sliding around as much as it did, it just made it so tough to pass anybody because...
Look good on TV to me.
You get on the inside of them.
Would do.
Not at Darlington. Darlington's crazy.
Yeah.
You ain't going to pass
Might have been
anybody.
a little bit better, more grip at night, but it would have gave everybody more grip. So.
Be a lot of grip next time when you go back.
What you see is at Wilkesboro, hardly any cautions because you would always slip and slide. Darlington, there's not going to be many cautions because people are they can't get close to each other. You know, it's just a matter of bouncing off the wall, and we had some cautions, but it wasn't any big wrecks or anything.
Move on to Tony Stewart, who had a pretty good car most of the day, and then about 2/3 of the way in, he had a problem.
Flat left rear. And, boy, Darlington is a good place, though, to have a tire problem. If you're going to have one, you can make it in. Because if you're in the middle of a run and the yellow doesn't catch you, those new tires will gain you up enough time and you can get back in sync.
Yeah, a lot of times you saw the 12 go by the 11. All right, there, Ryan had a pretty good run yesterday, too.
And Stewart with new tires unlapping himself from Newman. But, yeah, you're right. In fact, both the Penske Dodges were pretty good at times yesterday. Kurt ended up further back. Maybe their new car program is coming along? Or?
Well, did you get any emails on your show saying that it was a Dodge race? Of course, Penske's Dodges are going to run good.
Yeah, I didn't get that email.
Well, how could you not after all the other crap
I'll bet it was there and I just missed it.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's get to the Kenny Schrader moment. Actually, it's the first of 2 moments. This is the perhaps A-led to be in this case, too. We'll let Kenny tell us what's going on here.
I just found the 6 down in turn 3, and I'd been behind him for a while. I'd been beside him and just got in the back of him a little bit. Not enough, but it damaged our right front also when I was in him right there.
That was not a race for position, right?
No, he was a couple down at that time. So
you were having a good run. Your car was solid.
We were still on lead lap and been working, so whatever.
Meantime, the pit activity, and then listen to Jeff Gordon at this point in the race.
Water's getting hot, 220, 250.
That was
that it?
That's with 100 to go.
That is lap 239, 166 miles still to race. I mean, what's he thinking at that point?
He's thinking that
take some tape off.
Yeah, he's got a good car, and it could be a good day, but I'm probably not going to finish this race.
And get the tape off is key, as we'll see in a minute. Schrader again, and did A lead to B? This is what, 10 laps later, right?
Well, I mean, if we're getting this was a little bit harder than I expected.
Well, do you see that you ran head on into the wall, basically?
You know,
look at the angle here.
Right about here, I should have turned.
Well, you also should have suspected that something bad was getting ready to happen.
Well, yeah, but it didn't. I felt it go down when I let up. And at that part, there wasn't a lot you could do, Mikey.
So it was a hard hit.
Just hang on.
Yeah, oh, you know what was really bad, though? Because I always leave my eyes open because it's kind of neat to see what stuff's going to happen. And this time, it looked like it was maybe going to, you know, I didn't really need to see this one. So I crunched up. I took a big, deep breath. And it's like, man, I thought I should have been here by now. So I kind of, and that's when I hit. You know, I got me
Did you start to peak?
I got me another little bit of air, and that's when I hit.
Maybe it's not going to be so bad.
Yeah. Oh, it was. You know?
Darrell has said all along, yeah, everybody thinks the car of tomorrow is going to be safer. I'm going to say that after somebody really tries to knock the wall down going fast with one.
Well, and ours was, it didn't hit that hard. It should not have felt like it did, I don't think.
Well,
Didn't hit that hard.
I beg to
Fair
differ.
enough.
He's running about 170 or 80, let off, and if you watch the video, went straight into a wall. Now, why you don't think you ain't gonna hit? Think about delta forces and all that stuff. You ran head on into a wall.
I suspicion something was going to happen because I shut my eyes.
All right, that's the measure for Schrader. It's a hard hit if he's got his eyes open. Let's go, or if he's got his eyes closed.
Pop out.
Let's take a commercial break. Three-way battles for the lead tend to be entertaining. This one certainly was. And the new car that led the most laps can't find victory lane again. This is getting to be a habit. For the third time in 4 weeks, we offer a lucky Jeff Gordon fan a chance to win the Picture of the Week. Go to the IMC page at speedtv.com, use the link, send us an email, put the number 78 on the subject line. That is Jeff's current career win total with signs that he might increase that, and you could be in the running for this week's great big old picture.
Isn't Pearson second with 105?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's not out of touch.
People say it is. People think he'll wind up third. What do you think?
I don't think second's out of touch.
There's a big knot there with Darrell and
Bobby Allison and Cale Yarborough.
Cale all right together, and he's within like a half a dozen races of him, so he could sure get to third in a hurry. Whether he gets second remains to be seen.
How many entrants do we get for Picture of the Week?
Excuse me, could you tell me how many entrants we get for Picture of the Week? 2,004 every week.
Right.
Why?
Yeah, with Junior it's more probably.
I was just
2008.
thinking, these pictures are so pretty. If people are tired of getting a Jeff Gordon picture, I got a great picture right over my shoulder of the Penske cars racing each other.
He's such a troublemaker.
Yeah.
I'm told we have other uses for those.
Oh.
The
Why
voices
don't
in
you
my head are saying,
You brought
Michael,
that up.
what is it? Michael,
Every
shut
half
up.
a dozen weeks.
Okay.
Sometimes
We move
I
on.
just
Let it
we
go.
move on. With Hamlin continuing to pile up new car laps led and Gordon hot under the hood, we return to the racing action.
Now, they
Juan
said
Pablo-
Hamlin was the first driver to lead 500 laps in a CO2.
Was indeed. Watch Juan Pablo Montoya bunching up the leaders here. Johnson finally gets around Hamlin.
Yeah, but Hamlin worked with him on that.
Three-way battle for the lead.
Look at this. This is for the lead.
Get him, Ryan.
That's fun.
Pretty fun stuff.
I think Jimmy Johnson says, okay, Ryan, if you're in such a hurry, you go up there and try to lap one. I ain't having no luck.
you be the first bullet at him, and I'll try to follow you
A
through.
frequently replayed audio clip from the Busch race. Juan didn't want any part of giving up spots to people. Cruz telling him, just let the guy go. He's like, hey, you want somebody to do that? Hire another driver. What's going to is he outside the Cup rules of etiquette when he races the leaders that hard, or is he going to learn a lesson? What's going to happen here?
Everyone's been real polite so far. I haven't been racing him, but everyone's been very polite so far, and they'll get tired of it.
Yeah. I lost some positions this weekend trying to be polite because there you can't. We're slipping and sliding like Michael said. You can't. You got to be careful. You know, you end up wrecked if you just touch, you know, at the wrong spot. So it's really hard to get in there and get beside a guy. A guy has to let off the gas to let you in front of him, and you can't go around there side by side as fast as you can, you know, single file. So
they know how talented he is, and they have a lot of respect for what he's done, but he's still going to have to learn the proper deal, or they're going to get tired.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
You see it on TV a lot where you're thinking, ooh.
One of these times.
You should be very happy that that happened right there.
Let's go to lap 303 and a couple of more premature retirees from the race.
Starting to get serious with these engines now, huh?
Actually, this one's going to be a wreck. Allmendinger hits the
If he hadn't
wall.
had the engine, he'd have never been going.
Yeah.
That's Kyle Busch. Here's your Gordon tape. He tried to get it, and he missed it. That proved to be big.
see how we're going to make it, man. I mean, we're almost 80 on the water pressure. I don't know if it'll make it, but we can't help it. It's like, we're done. It's not going to make it if we mess with it. Go get another radiator ready. You've run good enough all year long, but we're going to stay out there and try to win us this race.
That's your Nextel getting it done call of the race. Leave it out there and try to win the thing. Do you call that the same way if you're 200 points behind in the championship as compared to his 200 points ahead?
No, I don't think so. I think you're there to win the race. That's
Regardless.
Saying you call it the same.
Yeah.
So you'd call it the same way. It wouldn't make any difference. You wouldn't get it in, try to fix it, and figure maybe we can salvage more points rather than blow up and lose a lot of points.
You saw their attitude when he didn't pit late with his steam, and he's like, the crew chief was saying, we're going to win this race. I love that attitude.
My point is, if you're 200 ahead, you can maybe afford to gamble.
I don't think they take, I think that winning a race is so big, I don't think they take that into consideration.
It might be if they were in a bind later in the season or something.
Yeah.
But right now, they're full speed ahead. Let's just win another race.
Yeah, it's race 11 after all. Let's go back to the Denny Hamlin story. He's now led, as Michael pointed out, more than 500. It's 563 laps in new car racing, more than any other drivers, including the Hendrick guys, who have won all the new car races.
Now,
watch the right front.
You can see here the right front guy has an issue. He drops a nut, and then he picks it up and drops another one. So the stop took a long, long time. And by this point, Dave, Denny's seen this week in and week out. He's got to feel like he's getting a little frustrated.
Well, we know how to give them away. We do it every week. I'm afraid to ask for what position to win. It'll be 15th. 15th. Drive your ass off here.
It's hard to know who to feel more sorry for, the driver or the tire changer.
Well, for the team.
Yeah, exactly.
For the team.
And that's the point. It is a team.
All right.
Yeah, everybody's there together, and everybody tries their hardest. And that the glue came off the lug nut, or when he slung the tire in there, the nut wasn't sitting on the stud. It may not have been the tire changer's fault. So it's
and
tough.
then you also think about what happened at Phoenix, speeding on pit road.
Yeah.
So Denny's part of the team. He made mistakes. Everybody's going to mess up, and that's
We're in
why.
a glass house for sure.
Yep.
He did, in fact, follow the radio advice, though. He drove his tail off, as we see, as he comes back through the field, passing, well, look who, battling here for a top 10 spot. His car was pretty good right there, Britt.
Yeah, it was. He was really good. I couldn't get my car to stick on the bottom like that. I was really loose. Just suffered for overall grip all day.
Lap 333, debris caution and pit stops.
That's a piece of metal. Look at Old Faithful right there.
They still working on getting the tape off.
That is huge.
Every time I see it quit steaming, I think he's done.
Castrol fast pit stop goes to Jimmy Johnson's crew. They get him out first. So if Gordon does blow, his teammate's sitting there ready to go. Rick Hendrick has a pretty good 1-2 punch. Wait till he gets Junior in there. Then think what he's going to have. Oh, but wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Or maybe just...
Did you have that on Wind Tunnel last night or something?
We talked about Junior a little bit on Wind Tunnel last night. Imagine that. We're going to talk about Junior right now. Watch what happened with him and Matt Kenseth, and then we'll listen to Kenseth's reaction to this.
Looks like Junior got in a little deeper than Matt.
Yeah, seems a fair description.
Looked like maybe Dale Jr. needed that wall, too, to make that turn. Bounced off it, hit it on his way. That's pretty.
So he hits Kenseth, he hits the wall, and then Kenseth calls in.
All right, well, I had my rear tires off the ground getting into 3. He hit me so hard. Like, he's mad I raced him, but there's 25 laps left. What am I supposed to do?
He's trying to look good. He's a free agent. He said he was on the brakes as hard as he could be, and that is all he could do.
I agree with
Not
that.
mad one bit.
So I am. I'm just kidding.
It was getting into 3 was treacherous.
Yes, I almost ran into the back of 2 or 3 cars getting in that corner because they let off the gas just a second before you, and you can't stop. You're pushing on the brake pedal as hard as you can.
There's
the
no
thing's
grip.
Loose. There's no grip. He bumped the back of Matt, then goes up and hits the wall. He just couldn't slow down.
Right.
So, Junior, you're off the hook. The panel agrees. Nothing wrong there.
Plus,
We
there's
need
a lot of
commercial break.
respect between those two. They're
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you,
heard Kenseth say it at the end.
It was a
I'm just
piece
kidding.
of driving by Matt to not wreck right
You
there.
never really saw his car move.
No, Matt did a fantastic job. I mean, he got run into from behind. 90% of the guys would have been in the fence right there.
On to the issue of pit strategy. To pit or not to pit? That was the question. And the leaders answered it differently in a key moment in the race. And how many stories of this race do you suppose carried the headline, "Full steam ahead"? I'm betting several.